Hello everyone, I'm Elias. Today I'm very excited to announce to you that this video is sponsored to you by Notion. So as you guys may have known, I've been using Notion to organize my life, and without it, I would probably be very overwhelmed and have a mental breakdown. Just kidding. Okay, but for those who do not know yet, Notion is an amazing all-in-one platform that lets you stay organized and streamline your workflow. And I also use it for my content creation, and I thought that it would be wonderful to share with you guys my Notion page so that you can also use it for yourself to stay productive and stay organized. Alright, so let's get to the Notion tour of the video. So yeah, I guess let's start first with my homepage. As you guys can see, it's very simple. The design is very minimalist. But what I like about Notion is that you can actually customize it the way you want. You can add pictures, you can change the color. So you have the freedom to design your Notion page the way you want according to your personality. But for me, I just have it very simple, so I like everything really neat. On the side over here, we have the time. And below that, I have here my navigation, which has all of the quick links to my Notion page so that I am able to access them very easily. And then next to that, I have here my today's agenda, or the things that I need to get done, and I have it on the very first page because I tend to be a very forgetful person, so I always make sure that I always see it at all times because otherwise it will get out of my mind. But yeah, I mean, once you're done with a specific task, you can just click the check button and then there you go, you're finished with that. And what I also really like about this is that it has a different views so that you can know which are the tasks that you have not started, which are the tasks that is in progress, and which are the tasks that you have accomplished. And you can easily move the block according to the label of that task. And then below that, I just have here the monthly reminders just so that I know which are the important events that is coming up, because as I said, I tend to be very forgetful, so I make sure to list that over here so that I can get an overview of what event is to come and things that I need to prepare for, and yeah, just all of that important stuff. So if we actually go to the very first section, which is the lifestyle page, this is kind of like a mini planner within this Notion template. So it has all of the to-do list as well as the reminders. These are just a copy or a link view of what we have seen earlier, just so that you always see it, especially if you are very forgetful. This can be very helpful for you. But yeah, it has the daily planning, so you can put here the priority of that specific day, the reminders that you have, and a set of to-do list down below where you can input the category of that work along with the progress. So this is very helpful when you're doing a lot of work. You can categorize them. I always do that just so that I don't get confused. Alright, so on to the next page, we have the weekly planner. This is perfect if you're the type of person who likes to plan out their week because this template has Monday to Sunday. You can also type here the priorities of that specific week as well as reminders. And then below that, we have the weekly planner. What I like about this is that it has a divider. On the top, you can write down the most important task that you need to get done on that specific days. And then below that, you can insert the task that is not so important. I find this very helpful because sometimes we tend to put a lot of things in our to-do list, but to be honest, not every single task there is important. We can move some tasks for like tomorrow, let's say. That's why I like categorizing them by their priority level so that I know which tasks are really important and that needs to get done by today. And then let's say that you want to add a new week, you can just click this new week template button and then it will generate you another week. You can just change the date and then there you go, you have a new weekly planner. Okay, and then after that, we have the monthly planner. Now, this is something that I use a lot if there's an event coming up next month, or let's say there's a really big project coming up and then I want to plan my month ahead. This is something that I find very useful. But to be honest with you, I'm not really good with planning in advance, so I don't use it for that. And then below that, I just have here a calendar view just so that I'm able to see what it would look like. And then besides that, I have here my monthly reflection. So let's say that if I want to review a specific month, I can put my thoughts here, my wishes. So that's something that I don't really often do, but I just decided to put them here just in case I want to be that person that has their life all together. I can just, put here the ones that I'm grateful for, the reflections, and the habits that I need to break, and so on. So it's just good to have it over here just in case. And then the next page that we have is the yearly planning. This is kind of very self-explanatory, but Basically, it allows me to plan out my year. But more importantly, it highlights my yearly goals and my yearly achievements. But for the sake of this video, I have decided to remove them because I find that they are a bit private and personal. And speaking of goals, I actually have a dedicated Notion page for that. So as you guys may know, I have lots of goals and I have a lot of dreams. And I know that sounds so cringy, but that's true. That's why I like to keep track of them. And more specifically, I try to categorize them because if you put your goals all in just one page, they can get very overwhelming. That's why I decided to categorize them by health goals, by education goals, by work goals. So just helps me to sort out my thoughts and not feel as overwhelmed and intimidated by these goals. And to my next page, I have here a vision board. These are just an example, by the way, because I have not done my vision board yet and I should probably do that soon. Anyways, next to that, we have my bucket list and then my trip planner. And of course, I've not been out of the country, so these are not true as well. Please be patient with me. But yeah, next to that, we have the event planner. So I use this a lot if there's like a big event coming up, or if you're going to plan a surprise birthday party or a big trip. I always use this to plan that because as the organizer of our friend group, I decided to, you know what, I'm going to make this just to make my life a little bit easier, because it's genuinely really difficult to plan out a trip or like to plan out an event with your friend group. If you know, you know. And then over here at my organization section, this is what I mainly use to keep track of the movies and the TV shows that I'm currently watching, as well as the books that I'm currently reading. As you guys can see, I'm currently watching the Hunger Games trilogy because a prequel is about to come out, I think next year or this year. I was the biggest Hunger Games fan when I was a kid, so I'm very excited for this new movie. And then below that, I also have a set of journals because as someone who really likes journaling, I journal on my iPad, I journal on my notebook, so I decided to also put a journal over here because my mind is very chaotic. Like I have a lot of thoughts, that's why it really helps me to write them down and to type them, just kind of let it out. So yeah, I highly recommend trying out journaling, be it on paper, on iPad, or on your Notion. And then moving on to the other section, we have here my productivity. Now, I often use this every time we have a school project or like a group work activity. As you guys can see, we did a video production project last year, and then this year we did a photography subject, and just recently we had to write a very long journal. So, but below that, I also have a set of notebooks. So that's what I really like about Notion, is that you can also use this for taking down notes. So if I'm doing a research on something, I use this for that, and it's very quick to like create a notebook. You can just click this template button and it will generate you a new notebook for you. And then over here on the side, I have a brain dump section, so just in case I have like a random thought or like a random idea, this is where I will put them just so that I won't forget about them. And then next we have my habit tracker. Now I'm going to be quite honest, I'm not the most consistent when it comes to tracking down my habits, so I just put it here to motivate me. And then I also have here a Pomodoro section, so when I'm studying for exam, I usually do a Pomodoro technique. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with this. So it's like you study for 25 minutes and then you take a break 5 minutes. And then on the left side of that, I just have here the stuff or the materials that I want to get done for that specific study session. And now let's go visit one of my favorite page, which is the education section. This is where I mainly keep track of everything that is school related. Okay, so let's do a very quick breakdown of this section. I have here my assignment tracker. This is probably one of my favorite feature on this because I like to keep track of my assignment, my projects, my tasks, because if not, there's a high chance of me forgetting about them. Okay, so let's say that I have a new task. I can just add that very easily and then categorize them by the subject as well as the progress that I have made on that specific task, and then the due date. This is very important so that I know when this task should be submitted. Once I am done, I can update my progress and then click the check mark button if I have submitted them. And then below that, I have here my class schedule. And then below that, I have here the subjects or the courses that I'm taking for that specific semester so that I know who my professor are, what time and what date. And then when I click this, I kind of have like a mini notebook with basic informations about that subject, and then a and then a room where I can input down my notes. This is very helpful to me when we have like an online class or they want us to take notes of a module. And then below that, I just have here a list of my study materials, but as you guys can see, I'm not really good with tracking them, so these are just all demo for the sake of this video. Okay, so our next section is finance. So as a working student, it is very important for me to keep track of my money, especially my salary and also my expenses, to know where my money is going. And then below that, I have here my savings tracker. Right now, I'm saving for a new laptop because I'm about to go to university soon, and I think that a laptop would be very helpful for that. And then I also have a page where I am able to keep track of the services that I'm subscribed to, like Netflix, Spotify, Disney Plus, and so on. And then of course my wishlist section. So I have a lot of things that I want to buy. I want to buy a new phone, I want to buy a new MacBook, I want to buy a car, I want to buy a new computer. But yeah, that's just like, but yeah, hopefully soon. But yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is just kind of like where I put all of the stuff that I want to buy. But doesn't mean that I'm going to buy them. Just kind of like I put them here for fun. And then the next section that I have is my nutrition section. This is where I put all of the recipes that I want to try, and then if I want to plan out my meals, I can do that here. And then we have here the wellness section. As you guys can see, it's very empty because I don't work out. So yeah, I don't know why I created this. I hope it will motivate me to work out, but it's just here like a design. I should probably start working out. Okay, let's move on from that. We have here my sleeping tracker, and then my mood tracker, and lastly my medicines and vitamin slug. And now let's go visit where the magic happens, my content creation hub. So I have here my content calendar where I mainly plan out my contents for TikTok and YouTube. This allows me to be organized when I'm planning and creating content. This is where I also keep track and store all of the musics and sounds that I use for my YouTube videos. Alright, that will be all for my Notion tour. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you want to start using Notion for free, you can do so by clicking the link in the description box down below. And as for my Notion template, I will be giving you a free version of that down below as well, so you can click that if you are interested. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great day ahead.